Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at 15 balance changes, then about 7 balance changes as well, which are pretty secret and people haven't realized as well. But first, we're going to be opening our star drops. So if you guys don't know, there was some bug with contests. Essentially, there was less than 50 people in some people's contests. So then if you won, some people were only getting like 5 star drops instead of 20. So that's the reason why they've done this, just for a little bit of compensation for now. And then they're going to manually fix everything. So all the players that missed out on the 20 star drops, they're going to eventually give those rewards in like 1 or 2 weeks, because it will take a long time. Anyways, we didn't get anything there. And also, yeah, this is a new thing as well that I read. So the people that received no variants in theirs when they bought the chain offer, like me, they actually get these offers for a little bit of a discount, so I'll be buying them later for sure. More money to spend. So I'm going to quickly go over the balance changes here, just so you guys know. They're in the patch notes right here. And then we're going to be testing them out. And of course, we're going to be streaming later today, doing videos on the second channel, testing everything out. And of course, tomorrow doing a top 10. So you can see here, Mo received 2 nerfs to the projectile speed and the damage. Kenji, shield and supercharge. Larry, health. Surge, hypercharge rate. Gale with his supercharge from basics. Charlie got a buff with the damage. Ash gets more rage from getting hit. Spike HP, Brock HP. Clancy gets a couple of nerfs with how much damage he deals at certain ranks and his super damage. Frank got a damage nerf and Byron got that bug fixed. There's also some other changes as well. Some secret changes that we're going to be going through right now. Okay, so the first secret nerf we're going to take a look at is with Clancy. So if you guys didn't know this, the main attack damage reflects in Brawler's supercharge rate. So he received 2 nerfs to his damage, 1 in stage 1 and 1 in stage 2. So essentially here, it's going to take him 8 hits to get his first super, whilst before the damage nerf, it would have actually taken him 6. So that's an additional 2 hits at stage 1. That's definitely going to make him a lot more vulnerable. So let's take a look at stage 2 as well. So it takes an extra hit to get his super at stage 2. I believe it used to take like 5 hits and now it takes 7 hits. No, it used to take 6 hits. Now it takes 7. So an extra 1 hit, which is, again, it just means he gets his super less, which is definitely going to have an impact on him. And then when we get to level 3 as well, essentially his supercharge rate from super will be a little bit less as well, because of his super damage being less. I'm not too sure the numbers on it, but again, it just means that he's going to get his super less frequently. So I think it's going to have a bigger impact on Clancy than people realize. It's definitely going to be one of the biggest nerfs. Next secret balance is affected Spike. So he received a 400 HP buff, and if you guys knew from the HP buff he received a couple of months ago, it's affecting his life plant gadget and his fertilized star power. So if you didn't know, it's a 200 HP buff to the actual cactus itself. It's then a about 120 extra HP he will recover as well once the life plant gets killed. So again, small numbers, but might help him out. And then the fertilized star power is actually buffed. You will now regen 1,400 health per tick instead of 1,300. So just small tweaks, but it definitely could help Spike a little bit. Secret nerf is with Gale. So if you guys didn't know, he gets his super from basics a lot less frequently now. So then this is going to affect his hypercharge rate. Essentially takes 8 more projectiles to build up his hypercharge, which does sound like a big nerf. That doesn't of course consider that you can, of course, you're going to hit people with that Gale super, but if you don't, it's going to take over 4 supers to build up his hypercharge. Already it took those 4 supers, which already was very, very long. So this is definitely going to be a big nerf, but again, you're not really, I don't know, we'll have to test it out and see whether how many hypercharges I'm able to cycle throughout a game. And of course, you're going to hit people with that super, so it's going to make it build up a lot more frequently. But with all of these nerfs combined, you're going to have super less frequently, hypercharge less frequently. I think Gale will be a lot worse because of this. Next brawler that got a secret nerf was Mo. It's only ever so slightly, before I'd include it anyway, so I think this will only change interactions with gadget. It's literally the slightest nerf ever. So again, it might mean that it takes him like an extra shot to build up that super with his gadget, because he received a damage nerf, which of course impacts his supercharge rate from his basics. So yeah, a little small change. I don't know whether we'll notice it, but at least it's receiving some type of extra nerf. Next secret change is with Charlie, and she's actually receiving a buff. So she received a buff buff to her main attack damage from 1,520, I believe, to 1,600. So before, she would need, I believe, 12 hits to get her super, well, a hypercharge super, and now it takes 11 hits. So one less hit, which is going to allow her to make more plays on addition to her damage buff that she received. I think this is going to maybe make her like a CB tier brawler. It's not going to have the biggest of impacts, but definitely a nice change. Frank is receiving an extra nerf. Essentially, he will need 8 hits to get his hypercharge super instead of 7 because of the way that the tank trait worked. I think this might change a few interactions. I mean, he kind of already needed those 8 hits, but yeah, now he can't just abuse the tank trait as much, which again is a nice change. But the thing is, like, Frank's still going to cycle through to hypercharge pretty quickly. You can see there that small nerf definitely, well, again, he's going to get that still, right? I don't know whether that's going to do anything, but it's just a note to consider. The final secret change is with Byron. Well, it was actually added in the patch notes, but if you guys didn't know, with all the bug exploits happening with Byron, how we could heal up pets, they then reverted that, but then accidentally made it so Byron would need 10 poison ticks instead of 9. Of course, that was actually a big secret nerf in my opinion, and that's why he wasn't played as much in World Finals, but now it's been reverted back to 9 hits, so it only takes him 3 pieces of ammo to get that super, so definitely going to help Byron again in the meta. Okay, so now we're going to be testing out about 3 or 4 of these balance changes, seeing whether they're going to have an impact on the meta. Of course, it's pretty hard to tell straight away, but let's try out Mo. So Mo received a big projectile speed nerf, around 22%, which in numbers sounds absolutely huge. My first predictions is that Mo's still going to be one of the best brawlers in the game, but let's test him out here and see whether it's actually going to be more difficult to build up his supers. So far, I've not really noticed too much. Maybe like the quick immediate damage is going to be a little bit less, but yeah, I'm still got my super pretty easily. Again, I can just do this to Mortis. Like, what even is that? Just mechanically, that's just insane. I can auto-aim it onto them and straight away interrupt him. Like, I just abuse any type of assassins that want to come my way. So I'm going to pop Gadget here. Again, it's going to be so easy, especially against tanks built on super. I've already got my super again. So I think the other nerf was a main projectile, which was like an 80 nerf, which wasn't really most. Okay, we do get obliterated by that hypercharge, but I thought there's no point supering onto him there because he would have just died anyway. So let's just go onto the Frank here. We can just kill it. I mean, the thing about Mo, right, the nerf that I wanted was something to do with his super. His super is so toxic. The fact that you can just, of course, knock people back and deal such insane damage. I think the knockback effect needs to be nerfed. I've been saying this since day one, but knockback is just so ridiculous. I don't know whether they can actually change the mechanic of being able to auto-aim it, because you can do that with Gray's teleports, right? But still, the super itself is just so annoying to me. I mean, of course, they could just nerf the super charge rate, but I just think the knockback is way too big, and the damage as well probably is a bit too big as well. So not too sure what Bro is doing there. But again, I personally don't really see these nerfs doing too much to Mo. I think he's absolutely still going to be S tier in my opinion. Just like the twins and Charlie, he's going to need more nerfs than this. But let's jump into Kenji now. So now we're going to be jumping into Kenji's double nerf as well, seeing as those are the 2 most broken brawlers in the meta. Are these nerfs going to do anything? Again, I just really don't think it's going to do a single thing to Kenji. I was very disappointed with these nerfs, to be honest. So the first nerf was with his star power. Instead of taking 80% damage reduction with that shot after 5 seconds, I believe it's gone down. Was it 80? Was it 90? Oh, it's 90 actually. It's gone down to 60. So of course this is going to impact things. It's not going to be just as dumb, you know, you can't just run into people, but it's still such a big damage reduction. And then his super charge rate from super got nerfed. But the thing that got nerfed, right, was basically something that hardly ever happened. Like, the only interaction that changes if you hit 2 people with your super, it will need 3 hits to charge up your super back instead of 2 hits, which it's a nerf, but it's kind of laughable considering just how strong Kenji is, right? I mean, we should be able to score here. Nice, he uses the super on the gadget onto me. Again, those are only changes. There's just so many good things about Kenji. One annoying thing is just that his super seems to always hit right. His gadget is still really toxic. Like, look at this. His reload speed is toxic. The amount of healing he gets is toxic. There's about 5 things that need nerfing, in my opinion, for him to be a balanced brawler. I think, again, it's going to be like the twins and Charlie, where it takes so many nerfs to actually make him weaker. He's a lot stronger than I think the dev teams realize. So again, we can just super here. I don't think we can really defend that because of Primo's hypercharge. But again, I'm not seeing any differences. I still get my super so fast. I'm still just so mobile. My healing is just crazy. Like, look at this. I could just take down Nita. I can just go straight in again here, pop my gadget, got super back already, slice and dice. These guys can't do a single thing. Yeah, Kenji's still broken. Absolutely. Those nerfs did absolutely nothing to him. They need to nerf so many more things. Probably like 4 nerfs. Like, look at this. I wasn't even trying. I'm just waffling. 11 and 0. Yeah, completely broken still. Let's jump into the next one. So now we're going to be testing out a buff, and probably the most exciting buff out of the few. And it has to be with Ash. So he's receiving, I believe, 20% buff to the amount of rage he gets when getting hit. So already I've got my charge pretty quickly here. See if we can get the kill. Okay, nice. So I just feel like that's going to be a really good buff and could be pretty toxic because you're basically just going to get rage from everything possible now, and you're just going to be dealing, look, 3.6k damage with every hit with ease. He's got a really toxic gadget, I think, especially in combination with his rats. So let's just pop my rats down to help me out here. And yeah, I think I'm just going to be infinitely sped up, which is going to be nice for Ash. Of course, he still might be countered a little bit more, well, easier than in the past because there's just so many brawlers with hypercharges, etc., where it wouldn't have actually been good into him in the past, but they're just good into him now. So I definitely think it's going to make a good positive impact. I think it's just going to be more of like a counter pick option in ranked and everything like that, but I don't see him being like at the top of the meta just because the buff wasn't that dry. I mean, maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe it could be a much bigger buff than we realized, but I just foresee him being like usable now in the meta. I think it would take a hype charge for him to really push up the meta. Again, there's just so many tanks with like tank trait, etc., that can just abuse him too much. Okay, that spike was pretty annoying there. I don't think we're going to be able to defend that whatsoever. Also, Ash really struggles against fellow tanks, so I've not got a good matchup whatsoever here. If you're wondering how to counter Ash, just go over tanks. They just obliterate him. So again, going to get my rage up from taking some damage here. Already got my maximum rage, which is pretty nice considering the HP that I'm at. We should be able to score that thanks to our okay. No, Primo just completely messed that up. Come on, Mortis, walk that in, bro. You can eat. That was the easiest walk in the world. Like, come on, 2-shot in spite there. Primo, please pass this ball away from the BB. What is even going on? This is the new ladder now. It's completely brain dead, but we got the goal there. We've got a super again. So I'm not really noticing it that much though, but I just think it'd be one of those buffs where we don't notice it, but we definitely just notice the fact that he feels a bit better. You know what I mean? Okay, again, I'm just cycling like crazy. My rats and everything else. We should just be able to take down this BB with ease here. Spike as well. We can just run into him and take damage. We just know we're going to get raged up. I mean, I'm liking Ash at the moment. I'm really liking him. I'm going to test one more buff after this, by the way. And then I'm probably going to do a second channel video. Just testing out more stuff, seeing what is meta. Let's pass the ball away here. Again, BB is dangerous face to face. But I think we got this right. It's just a spot. Where is he passing the ball, bro? We could have just walked that in. Please just score. What is bro doing? Hello? People can't be this bad, right? I literally passed over to the Mortis as well. Okay. Maybe we can still score this. Come on. He just threw one of my rats. What is going on right now? Come on, Primo. Please do something. Help me out here, bro. Help me out here. Help me out here. Please, you've got super. Do something. Here he goes. Is he going to redeem himself? Probably not, right? Oh, okay. That somehow works. Anyway, so that's going to be it for today's video. Actually, no. We're going to do one more change here. Don't want to make it too long, but let's do one more. 14 and 1. That was actually pretty good. But let's do one more. So jumping into the final buff we're going to be taking a look at is with spikes. So I wanted to test this out the most just because I'm curious whether I can feel the extra healing, only 100 healing with fertilize, but also the fact that you got 6.5k HP now with the shield gear could be kind of crazy. Not going to lie, especially as a damage dealer. Again, I'm a little bit skeptic because the reason why Spike isn't that strong anymore is because he just can't keep up with the damage, right? You've just got better tank counters out there like Clancy in the meta, even Mo, etc, etc. But again, people are saying that Fertilizer could be the better star power now. I'm a little bit skeptic on that opinion because, I mean, against tanks, it probably is going to be better, right? Because Fertilizer can just help you stay alive and be more toxic. But I think, again, like Purple is such a good star power and a big reason as to why he can just keep the damage output. Let's see if we can defend that nice. Again, it could be underrated. I think good players will be able to use Fertilize to great effect. But I just don't really see Fertilize becoming a better star power, right? So let's just keep an our super here. Again, maybe this helps us stay alive against the Mortis Hypercharge. I mean, bro already has Hypercharge. What even is this? Okay. So we get extra healing as well from that gadget. You also just get a little bit of extra tankiness. It could be a little bit harder to defeat. Maybe I'm underrating this buff, but I just can't see it. It just really lacks the damage to keep up. But maybe this is the secret meta. Let's try and test it out. So you know what, I'm gonna pop the hyper charge here. It means Mortis can't cycle through to here. He completely missed that. Again here with fertilize, you just kind of want to run at people. That might be the new kind of aim with Spike, right? So again, popping gadget to stay alive, popping super to stay alive. But it's just so hard to consistently hit shots with fertilize. Sometimes it can hit though. Maybe people have just forgot how to juke fertilize. Okay, this is not going to go down well. There's no way we're going to defend this, right? I mean, I might kind of defended that. I'm noticing a bit of an impact, but I just, especially against most brawlers, you can just typically outrange him. It's just so hard to get consistent damage, and especially when you literally look at Mo. I've said this so many times, Mo is just a better version of Spike. It's what everyone thinks Spike is. The way he shoots, the way he just deals damage is just way better than a Spike. But you know what? Let's try and just run this in against the max. Maybe we can. Oh, and we actually did. Damn, Spike might be a secret goal scorer. Okay, we definitely noticed something there. I don't know whether that's enough to push him really high in the meta, but maybe he's actually going to be useful now. Maybe I've underrated this buff. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what balance changes you want me to test out on stream today and what you think of them all. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.